Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello and welcome to the Vskills Expert Interview Series. Today we have with us Mr. Lalit Kumar Bhamare, Lead of Innovation and Thought Leadership for Accenture Quality Engineering Services, Germany, and a seasoned professional with over 15 years of experience in providing crucial insights through testing to empower stakeholders' decision making. As an international keynote speaker, CEO, and chief editor of Tea Time with Testers magazine, Lalit has been a driving force in software testing domain. He has worked in senior capacities at Barclays Investment Bank, TCS, Cisco, and presently working as manager DevOps chapter at Accenture. Lalit has significantly impacted the field of testing. He is a lead instructor with the Association for Software Testing and collaborates with experts like James Bash in rapid testing intensive online training. His presence at international testing conferences and expert panels speaks volume about his contributions to the industry. We welcome you to the expert interview series, sir, and hope our viewers get to learn a lot from the interview.
I hope so too. Thank you for inviting me.
So my first question to you is, what does a day in life looks like for you?
Well, that answer changes very often. But for now, I would say my day typically starts with work. Um as my teams are distributed pretty much across different time zones, so to catch up with them, I prefer working early. During my work day, I talk to my colleagues, help my teams, unblocking them, solving problems, discussing with leadership to prioritize on next items and solving other strategic difficulties we probably have. During the work day, I take some breaks to free up my mind, going on a walk sometimes, or just sitting in the garden. At the end of the day, typically I try to do exercise, which is usually difficult to manage because of the lots of uh, meetings, so to speak, and other commitments. But I make sure to play with my son in the evening when he comes back from the school. I go out for a walk with my dog. It's a very good kind of therapy after a stressful day. And in the evening, I spend time with my family and, yeah, preparing for the next day. And that's pretty much what my routine is.
Right, sir. A successful day definitely requires a lot of planning. So, sir, moving on to the next question. What initially
Mhm.
sparked your interest in the field of software testing?
Like many other testers, I'm also an accidental tester, but I chose to be a tester with choice after that. I started my IT career as a Java programmer in the beginning, and I was working with Tata Consultancy Services back then in Mumbai. I was given a responsibility of looking into automation in testing using, I think, QTP was a tool, a pretty popular tool that time. But I realized that I was more interested in learning the product myself and then automating it rather than simply writing scripts for the test written by someone else. And that's how I got closer to the art of designing test cases, understanding the requirements, asking questions. And I found that thinking part very interesting for my uh, liking. And ever since, I am very fond of testing in general. And yeah, so for over 15 years now, I'm in testing field and I like what I do.
Indeed, it was very interesting journey, sir. And so my next question to you is, how do you approach collaborating with cross-functional teams, especially in the context of software testing and quality assurance?
Mhm. Yes, collaboration with cross-functional teams is very important, particularly if you are supporting uh, a large platform which has different business units and a different kind of functional teams. To ensure that the quality that is getting offered to your users is consistent and there is the feeling of one product, one quality experience. Uh, Particularly in my setup, I try to establish an early collaboration with design teams. I have written some methodology, I would say, or some sort of framework to facilitate the collaboration between testers and the design team. I call it QX. And this collaboration helps testers to contribute right from the design phase itself, and it also helps them to get more insights into how users are going to use the product. Also, collaboration with programmers in the team and outside the team and other cross-function team is important to understand how their application is interacting with the piece of product that testers in particular team are working with, getting all the information they need to make context appropriate test strategy. uh, I have written a lot more in terms of this collaboration and what kind of different types of sessions and pairing activities testers can do in the framework that I developed. I call it QCSD, Quality Conscious Software Delivery, and collaboration and whole team approach within the team, beyond the team, is at the center of this entire philosophy. I would encourage your viewers to read it to get more insights into uh, what collaboration and engagement with cross-functional teams and also other disciplines in general can benefit testers.
I appreciate your sharing the techniques, sir. My
For
next
sure.
question is, in your experience, what are the some key qualities or skills that differentiate an exceptional software tester from a good one?
Well, communication remains the top skill, even when I would say uh, I'm co-author of this state of software testing survey that I'm running with my other friend and colleague from Israel from over 10 years now. I think good communication skills and interactional expertise are very important for testers to be able to communicate the information and the risk with different stakeholders in the language they understand. And apart from that, I would say curiosity. The more curious tester is, the more efforts he would make to understand what's actually going on in the product. And to top it all, critical thinking is something that certainly differentiates an exceptionally good tester from the good one. Usually, with the pressure of delivery and lots of tools at their disposal, this critical thinking aspects from testing sometimes gets compromised for the benefit of time. But the exceptionally good tester understands that critical thinking is not optional, and he or she must use it to do what is right thing. So critical thinking, curiosity, and also the courage to speak up the truth is important, because most often testers find information which is not very pleasant for the stakeholders, because they usually talk about problems and the risks. So it is important that testers can effectively communicate the information they are finding so that their stakeholders can make informed decision about it. So uh, these are some important skills I would say make an exceptional tester.
Thank you for clearly stating these skills, sir. Now, I would like to ask you, how do you envision the future of software testing, and what trends or advancement do you think will shape the industry?
Well, it's a very interesting time to answer this question, because particularly with the rise of generative AI and uh, other implementation of these abilities, testers in particular at a very interesting spot in the field of software testing, I would say. Until now, it was the automation tooling that used to sort of make claims that they would replace the human testing, and that usually would be just a marketing gimmick, and it never happened, and it's unlikely to happen. uh, but with the rise of generative AI and these technologies as such, I think whatever this mediocre testing that used to happen in our industry, where testers would simply abandon their common sense and critical thinking and try to work more like script monkeys. That's how I put it. So whoever has been doing a mediocre work in software testing field without really critically thinking about stuff, without applying their intelligence, I think that kind of work can be picked up by generative AI and smart tooling, where minimum supervision with this mundane repetitive task is possible to automate. However, it also creates an very exciting opportunity for testers who understand the power of critical thinking, because now they are forced to work with an intelligence which is of artificial kind, but ultimately it's still an intelligence, and it puts up a lot of exciting opportunities for testers in place, so that they are challenged to work with these technologies and make sure that they can use them for their assistance and do the more interesting and challenging work which requires human judgment, thought process, and critical thinking. So the future for testing, in my opinion, at this particular period of time is very interesting, and I believe it's going to be way more brighter than it used to be, because it's the time for testers to really compete with an artificial intelligence, and probably competing is the wrong word, but collaborate with artificial intelligence, and that puts them at a very interesting position, probably compared to other roles in the software testing field.
I appreciate your view, sir. So, my next question to you is, what advice would you offer to aspiring software testers who are looking to make a meaningful impact in their careers?
Well, if they want to make a meaningful impact, I would ask them to be curious. It's very important to have a general curiosity about the things. Be passionate about the work they do. If you are not passionate about software testing, probably you won't be able to make a meaningful impact. Critical thinking, as I always say, is very important, and also an ability to adapt to ever changing, sorry, context, and ability to learn new things is very important. So uh, particularly testers and testing industry in particular is usually at receiving end of the ever changing technologies and domain, and the advancement in the uh, different sort of methodologies, and a tester's ability to quickly adapt to these changes makes them relevant. And for that, they have to constantly learn. So, if I'm to pick one advice, I would say do not stop learning new things.
I'm sure this would be of utmost help to our viewers, sir. Moving
Pleasure.
on to the next question. In your multifaceted role, how do you stay updated with the latest development in the software testing landscape?
Well, the rules I said about what I would recommend to tester, they apply to me too. So I like to learn new things. Read a lot. I have been collaborating with lots of like-minded, passionate testers across the globe. So this magazine I started, Tina with Testers, it's a community project, and running this magazine allows me to interact with lots of interesting people across the globe, discuss ideas with them. That gives me new insights into how different people are approaching a problem, what's going on. Apart from that, I'm co-authoring this state of testing report, which helps me understand how testers across the globe, how different organizations are approaching testing, what is new in the field, what are the challenges. And of course, I like to innovate new things. I keep reading the stuff. Recently, I was exploring an ancient Indian literature or philosophy, so to speak. Uh, Nyaya Shastra it is called, and I was trying to figure out what can be implemented from this in the field of software testing and development. So I think it's my personal quest for knowledge, and my passion to learn new things keeps me up to date.
Thank you for sharing, sir. Since you have been very clear with all these thoughts and which you would like our viewers to incorporate in their lives, still I would like to ask you, could you share a personal motto or guiding principle that has driven you throughout your career in software testing?
Oh, that's a difficult question. But I was privileged and fortunate to work closely with Jerry Weinberg when he said he would like to be part of my Tea Time with Testers magazine that I was running. And through my interactions with him, I got to learn a lot about life, consulting, software testing field, and computer programming in general. There is an interesting quote that comes from Jerry's books. He said, "Your ideal form of influence is to help people see their world more clearly and then to let them decide what to do next." I try to be such an influencer. And in order to help people see things and their world more clearly, it requires me to be on my toes always, because giving clarity into someone's world requires you to be quite clear in terms of your own deliveries, your own responsibilities, and your own understanding of stuff. And that motivates me to do everything that I do with more seriousness, passion, and utmost sincerity. And this has been my driving force, the ability I have been trying to develop in myself to be able to help others and organizations and help them see their world more clearly motivates me to do everything I do with my best abilities.
Thank you so much for sharing this, sir. This was all. Thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for joining, sir.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.